Hello everyone. Welcome back to Professional Med Junior live session. It's become a routine now. We're going to be starting at 2:30, and until now, get ready with your Scratch accounts and log in. And if you want to get some flashcards, feel free to comment on our YouTube or Facebook live chat, and we'll share flashcards with you. So we're gonna start at 2:30. Hang on a bit. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Professional Med Junior live session. My name is Teacher Essen, and I'm gonna replace Teacher Mark today for this session. And hope you had a good week. And let's try and start. Today we're gonna be learning about cloning. And for that, let me show you what we're trying to make today. Okay, so as you guys can see, let me just try and play the game once. Press on the game flag. All right, so there are some invaders in here, some tanks, and in the air as well. So I'm gonna have to defend myself. Well, not myself actually. I'm gonna have to defend this wall in here. And every time I hit my target, I get some score. Right now I have 22. And if I just let them hit the wall, it's gonna end the game. Just like that. All right. So let's try again one more time. So I've been attacked by land and by the air as well. I've got jets and tanks and whatnot. Okay, so let's start, I guess. I'm gonna stop the game. Let's go over the character once. So we have our walls are safe that we are trying to protect. And then we have our laser gun. And then when we fire, we get a laser. And of course the enemies, which are the jets and tanks and all this stuff. All right, enough of introduction, let's start. I'm gonna go back to Scratch. Of course, we don't need Scratch 1, right? So I'm gonna just close it up. And first of all, I'm gonna name my project. I'm gonna say Invaders. Okay, perfect. Now, we're gonna follow our basic Scratch rule, which is gonna be make the world, make the characters, and add some rules, right? Let's try and create our world. For that, I'm gonna come into backdrop, and I'm gonna choose a backdrop. You guys can choose any backdrop that you want, but I'm thinking I can just choose desert. Yeah, I like this one actually. Sure. What else? So we have our world ready, right? Next, we want our characters. But what characters do we have? Let's try again. So we have a vault, a gun, and few invaders with the laser. Okay. So let's just get all of them. I have downloaded a few of them, so I'm gonna choose the vault first of all. And bingo. I have my vault in here, which is basically what I'm trying to protect in my game. And it's not big enough, you know, it's just too small. So for that, I'm gonna come into costumes and maybe try and change its size a little bit. So let's see. Drag it to the top and Now stretches as much as I can. Perfect. Now, but I don't want it to cover like half of my screen. And I'm actually thinking maybe I could like move it to left somewhere around here. Sure, we can change that later on. All right, so we are done with our vault. Now what character or what are we? We are gonna use a gun, right? And then we're gonna have to upload a gun. So I'm gonna come back to sprites, upload sprite, and I'm gonna find my laser gun. It's in here. Importing. Same thing again, it's too big. And I'm gonna try and change the size to, I don't know, let's say 30. Yeah, good enough. Perfect. And we have volts and laser gun. What else do we want? We have gun, but do we have a laser yet? No, we don't have it. So there are two options. One, we could just find something on Google, or I can literally like paint one. So I'm gonna just come into paint and draw my laser. But laser is literally a rectangle block, right? So for that, I'm gonna choose rectangle, and I actually prefer red color, so I'm gonna give it to go with red, and outline would be red as well. But I want to make my outline a bit thick. What do I mean by that? Let me just draw one rectangle in here. It's good. It's good enough actually, but I don't want it to be like this thick. I mean the outline. So I'm gonna try and make it, I don't know, let's set it to 4, I guess, and draw again. Yes, that's perfect. That's what I wanted. And what else? Of course, we're gonna have to rename it. I'm gonna say laser, I guess. Perfect. So we have what we are protecting, and we have our defense ready. So what about the invaders? I have invaders downloaded in my computer. So for that, I'm gonna just click on, oops, paint, and in here I'm gonna upload my costumes. You guys might remember that we had tanks, we had jets, and all those invaders. So I'm gonna just select all of them. It should be around 5 of them. All right, of course I don't need the vault again. And I don't want to have costume 1 either, because it's kind of empty. All right, so we have invaders, we have laser, we have laser gun and vault. But okay, let's just change the name of sprite 1 to invaders, I guess. Invaders. Okay, and as you guys might notice, all right, our bomb is facing the left hand side, so is our jet, but the missile is not where we want it to face. So I'm thinking we can change its direction a little bit, and I'm gonna change it by clicking on vector, choosing it, and rotating it a little bit so that it's gonna face the left hand side. Around about there. Perfect. All right. So for our missile, the missile truck, it's literally facing the opposite side. So I'm thinking if we could like sort of flip it horizontally. Okay. So we have our bomb facing left, jet is also facing left hand side, and all the other warheads are facing the right direction that we want them. Next, they're too big actually. Like, come on, they're too big. So I'm actually thinking maybe we can do what we did for our laser gun, try and reduce their size. Let's just set, I don't know, let's set 30. Yeah, 30 is good enough. Okay, what else do I want? Actually, I'm thinking to start making rules. We have our world ready, and we have our characters also. So let's just try making codes and rules. Let's start with the easiest one. It's gonna be a vault, because essentially the vault is not gonna move at all, right? Let's just look at our final product in here. See, the vault is not gonna move at all. So let's just code for that. So when do our game starts? It starts when we press on the green flag, right? So I'm gonna just click on the green flag. Okay, now what do I want? I actually want it to be at this position whenever I want, when I start the game. So I'm actually thinking to go to motions and get this go to block. And we can just keep these coordinates. But if we want to be a bit more specific, I'm actually thinking of making y to 0. Okay, so let's just change y to 0. And for x coordinates, maybe I can set it to like -350 to be a bit more exact, I think. Okay, good enough. What else? I actually wanted to like not be at the frontmost layer. So maybe we could change it to like maybe go to back layer, I guess. So I'm going to change it from front to back. All right, that should be it for our vault. Easy peasy, right? All right, next, what do I want to do with my gun? With gun, I'm actually thinking when I press on the green flag, that's when our game starts, right? So get the green flag, of course. What else? I'm actually thinking if it can follow my mouse or the pointer, no matter where I go. Okay. So for that, I'm going to have to get some blocks that is going to help me follow my pointer, which is going to be in direction, and it's going to be point towards mouse pointer. But if I just click these, if I just like sort of combine these two blocks together, it's not really going to do what I want it to do. So let's just try and combine these two. And now press on the green flag. See, it doesn't necessarily like follow my pointer always. So I'm actually thinking maybe we could use one more block. It is going to be a forever block. And put the point towards inside my forever. I think this should do what we're trying to. So I'm going to click on green flag again. Okay, that's perfect. See, that's what we wanted, right? Maybe we could like move our pistol a little bit higher. Okay, perfect. What else? Maybe we could try and change it for code for a laser, because without laser, our gun is of no use, right? Okay, let's go back to our final product and play the game one more time. So initially, we can't see our laser. We only see it when we press the key. For example, for me, I've set it to space. So every time I press the space key, the laser appears and the shot is fired. Okay, how do I do that? Of course, the game is going to start when I press on the green flag. Next, initially, what do I want? Maybe I can like sort of stop the game for now. Initially, I don't want to see laser. So I'm gonna go ahead to looks and try and hide it. Perfect. But remember what we did for our vault? We sort of moved it to back layer. For our laser, we are gonna do the opposite. So I'm gonna try and put it on front layer. All right. So that's the starting position, but still we have to like set codes for how do we make it fire. So it really depends on how you like it. For me, I'm gonna start it with when space key is pressed. Of course, you can like choose any keys, up, down, arrows and stuff, but I think for me, space suits me well. Okay, so what do I want it to do? What's the starting position of the laser where we fire from? It's going to be the gun, right? So first of all, I want it to come into this gun. I want it to load up, and then I'm going to go back to looks and or perhaps motion, and then go to, okay, I don't want it to go to random positions. Instead, I want it to go to my laser gun. Okay, so we have it in here. Perfect. Now, it's not facing the gun, right? For example, it's not facing my laser gun. So instead, I could just point towards my mouse pointer. Okay. I'm actually gonna do something, don't copy me. I'm actually gonna do it so that we can see what we're trying to do. I'm gonna put a show block in here. Okay, so maybe we could use it in here. Okay. Next, I'm gonna say, how do I like sort of make it move from my gun to, you know, go there? Like, how do I make it hit the target? Like, for example, we have this tank in here, right? How am I gonna do that? I'm gonna say move. How about we use a move block? I'm sure you are familiar with this move block, which is basically gonna move our laser in the direction that it's facing. Right now it's facing the mouse pointer. So if I sort of change it to 100, let's try. Don't copy me yet. And press on the green flag and press the space key. See, it moved from the pistol to here. It is doing what we are trying it to do, but not entirely. We don't want it to stop in the middle, right? We actually want it to hit the target. So we're gonna have to use something else. We have to set a condition for it to stop. If the condition is not met, we want it to like, you know, keep going and keep on until it reaches the edge. So for that, I'm actually thinking maybe you could come into control and get this repeat until block. Because the reason I'm trying to use this block is it allows me to put a condition in here so that the game can decide when to stop. So what condition am I looking for in here? I'm actually thinking maybe you could stop our laser when it reaches the edge somewhere in here. So I'm actually thinking of putting that into my condition, which is going to be sensing and touching. Of course, we don't want it to touch our mouse pointer. I'm looking for the edge, I guess. Okay, so it's going to be in here. So anything that I put in this block is going to repeat until I reach the edge. If not, the laser is going to do whatever we ask it to do. We just want it to like move. for example, 100 steps, right? Let's not make it 100. Let's set it to, I don't know, 10, I guess, and stick the blocks together. And I'm going to press on the green flag. So let's see what happens. Okay, point in the right direction and press the space key. Okay, perfect. So it is moving in a direction that we want it to move, and it is shooting in the direction that we want it to shoot. But after we have sort of, reached the edge, we don't want it to like just be in here, right? We don't want it to show at all. So I'm actually thinking maybe we could hide it. So what do I mean by that is whenever this loop is broken through, what do we want it to do? We want to hide the laser. So hide is going to be in looks and hide. Okay. So whenever I press on the green flag, the laser is going to go to my gun, and it's going to be mouse pointer. That's the direction, right? And it's going to be, repeating until it reaches the edge. But once it reaches the edge, it's going to hide. So let's stick all these blocks together. I'm going to try and press on the green flag. Okay, so let me shoot. Perfect. Okay, that's great. That's great. But it's kind of slow. Like it's not fast enough. So maybe I can change it to 20, 25, or even 30, I guess. Okay, let's set it to 30. Okay, that's good. I like it. Okay, so we have our valuable asset that we're trying to protect in here, and we have our defense ready, right? But what about the invaders? How do we code for them? So how many invaders we have? Well, essentially we have only one sprite, but we have like different costumes. Why do we have these costumes? I'm gonna explain that in a while, but let's just say, what do we want when we start the game? We don't want to see invaders. So maybe get the green flag. When green flag is clicked, what do I want? I actually want to hide the invaders. So looks and hide. Okay. Then when I do show my invaders, how do I make all these costumes show up? Because I only have like one sprite in here, right? It's invaders. So how can I like attack through a bomb or a jet or a missile or a truck or even a tank with only one sprite in here? For that, I'm gonna try and introduce a new concept, which is cloning. So cloning is essentially the identical copy of our characters. So for example, if I want to clone the invaders, I'll just get one more copy of my invader. Let me try and show you what do I mean by that. So I can find the cloning block in control. Okay, create clone of myself. But I want to create copies of myself, or I want to clone for as long as I'm playing the game. So for that, I'm going to have to use forever block, of course. And okay, forever clone myself. Okay, then what? Okay, I actually want you to like not copy me for a while because I want to show you something. Let's just say that I choose to, move it to a random direction. Okay, and let's see what happens with this block. Let's just try. Okay, so because we have set it to hide, we're not able to do anything. Okay, I'm gonna set it to show, I guess. Let's try now. Oops, you see that, right? We have bunch and bunch and bunch of our invaders, actually too much. but that should really indicate, and that should really like sort of make it clear what we are trying to do in here. We are basically trying to make identical copies of our invaders, which we have been able to do it. But the issue that we have now is, one, they are too fast, like there are too many of them. And secondly, they're all over our screen. We can't even see our characters, right? It's kind of funny. Okay, so what do we do with that? Let me just get these blocks right. Okay, so what do I want? I actually want to like change two things. One is I want to like slow the cloning a little bit so that, you know, I do have enough time to shoot them and protect the vault. And secondly, I just want them to like appear from the right hand side of the screen and move it towards left, because that's how I want them to attack, right? All right, so what do I do? How am I going to do that? I'm actually thinking we can use wait block in here. So control, okay. But if I just like ask them to wait for 1 second, it's going to be a bit lame. Like it's going to be a bit boring. Let's see, what do I mean by that? So, okay, I'm going to have to change the height again. Oops. And get the height show. Okay. Let's see, what do I mean by that? See, okay, so it's kind of predictable that I am going to receive, or I'm going to see one more invader after 1 second. So instead of just using 1 second, I'm going to pick random duration. For that, I'm going to have to come into, you know, operators and pick random. And now I'm going to say, what should be the range? I'm actually thinking it could be 0.2 to 2 seconds. Okay. And I'm only seeing my tanks in here. What about the other costumes? Like, when am I going to see my bomb or jet? I'm actually thinking we could add one more block in here, which is next costume, and see what happens. Just have a look. Okay, so I have my truck in here, missiles and jets, and okay, that's good, right? We are getting to what we are trying to, you know, we're getting closer and closer in what we're trying to do. Okay. Now what? I don't want to like, you know, show them when I press on the green flag. I actually want to show when I, you know. So I'm gonna get looks and get my blocks correct for this one, which is gonna be height. Okay, next. What do I want to do when you know, when I really start to clone myself? I'm gonna come into clone, and when I start cloning, okay, here is what we can do. You guys might remember that we have bomb, jet, and missile. These three warheads attack from air. They are used for aerial attack. And then our missile truck or the tank are sort of ground attacks, right? So there's like different categories. So we don't want we don't want to have our tank attacking us from the sky, right? That would be a bit funny. So we're gonna have to like set the rules for it. So for example, if we imagine that this is going to be a ground, tanks and the missile are going to be attacking us from the land. The other three are going to attack us from the top. So how am I going to do that? Okay, so for that, I'm going to use a condition. What is the condition that, remember, we have costume number 1, costume number 2, and costume number 3. So I'm going to say that as long as the costume number is 1, 2, 3, they should come from around about this range. I can do that using my X and Y coordinates. Okay, let's see that. Let me show you what do I mean. I'm going to get this if then else block. Okay. Okay, what is the condition that I need right now? I need a condition that is going to tell me if the costume number is 1, 2, or 3. So for that, I'm going to come into looks and gonna go down to costume and this block, costume number. All right. And now I need to find an operator. This one. and put this one inside. Of course, we don't want it to be 50. So I'm actually thinking, because we have it 1, 2, 3, I'm actually thinking maybe we could set it to 4. So as long as the costume is less than 4, what do I want? What do I want to do next? I think you are getting what I'm trying to do in here. So now I'm gonna try and make my invaders appear from the sky in here. Let's try and get the range of it. Maybe I'm gonna say because of course it's gonna be like this, right? So we are only gonna change our y coordinate. So let's just get go to, and okay, let's just set our x coordinate first. I'm actually thinking maybe we could set on, I don't know, 230 to 40. Okay, let's see. Now, I don't think we need to change our x coordinate for the land attack or the aerial attack, because they are going to attack from the right side of the screen. I'm going to just duplicate it and put it in here. So 240, 240 is going to be the same. What about our y coordinate? How can we make sure that for example, the jet is going to be attacking us from the air only and not from the land? For that, I'm going to come into pick random again. And I'm going to have to tell the range of my y. So maybe depending on how it picks randomly, it's going to be attacking on me from somewhere in here to until in here. So I'm going to maybe set it to, let's say 20 would start until 160, I guess. You can change it, of course. And for my land attack, I'm going to say it's going to be opposite. So I'm going to say -20 and -160. All right, let's try. But then we are still sort of hiding our costume for invaders. I'm going to come into looks and say hide. All right, let's try. Okay, because still hide, right? I'm going to have to get show, I guess. Okay. Yeah. All right. Next. So we have our characters ready. We have our vault, laser gun, and invaders, right? But how do I sort of make sure that what is our winning criteria? How do we win? How do we lose? So I'm actually thinking, what should we do? Let's just go back to our game for one more time and press on the green flag. Wow, it's kind of lame. All right, so we are winning as long as we are getting the points and getting the score, but we'll lose if we touch our if the invaders are able to touch our vault. So I'm actually thinking we want it to continue as long as they are not touching our laser. So I'm going to say repeat. That's the block that we have been using quite a lot in this game, actually. So repeat until what? Touching the laser, right? So touching laser gun? No, it's going to be laser. Okay. Next, we want it to go on, but then how do we make it move from left to right? How do we make it move left to right? I'm actually thinking it's going to be change y coordinates or change x. So it's going to be in motion and change x by what? So how fast do we want it to change? I'm actually planning to make my game a bit easier, so I'm going to change it to -1, I guess. Okay. So they are going to move from right to left as long as they are not touched by the label. Okay. As long as they're not touched by the laser, of course. Okay. What else? I'm actually thinking maybe we could add our score in here. How do we add score if we do touch them, right? If we are able to break through this loop, if we are not repeating repeating until touching laser, what do we want? I'm actually thinking of counting our scores. And for that, I'm going to need a variable. So let's just make a variable called what? Maybe score. Okay. Of course, when I start the game, I wanted to, set my score to 0. Okay. Perfect. Next. Oh, by the way, I forgot to, put back my hide block in here. Anyway, it's fine. Okay, let it be in here. All right. Now how do I like count my game? Like, how do I count my scores? I'm going to count my scores when I'm able to break through this loop. So I'm going to come into variable again and change variable by 1. I'm going to select my score. Okay. Let's check again. So it's going to be as if costume is less than 4, attack from this guy. If not, then attack from the land, then show, move towards left hand side and change score. All right, let's try again. Okay, so they are attacking us, but every time I am able to hit my target, they just stop. So we don't want them to stop, right? Instead, we want them to disappear. So I'm gonna just add one more block, which is gonna be looks, and I'm gonna say hide, of course. Okay, let's try again. Press on the green flag. All right, so we are able to, reset our scores. We are being attacked by the ground by the tanks and by the jets and other missiles through air. And okay, so we have our winning criteria, which is basically we're getting points for as long as we are able to hit our target. But how are we going to lose? When is this game going to end? Let's see if the game ends when they touch the vault. I don't think it's going to be. Yeah, it doesn't. They just don't notice. So I'm actually thinking maybe we could put a condition in here in repeat block, because that's when they move towards left hand side. So we want them to stop when they touch the vault. So I'm actually going to get if then. Okay, if, you guessed it, what do I want? I want to get touching. But what am I looking for? I'm actually looking for my vault. So it's going to be this one. Okay, so if this sprite, which is invaders, is able to touch my vault, the game is going to end, right? So I'm going to say control stop all, which is basically game over. And I'm going to put it after, sorry, I'm going to actually put it after change x by -1. Okay, so let's try again. Our score is resetting. We are being attacked. We're able to shoot, and the invaders are also hiding after being hit. Okay, let's try and see if we do lose a game. I'm gonna just let this hit the vault. Let's try. Will it stop? Okay, it does. So we are good, right? Let's go codes one more time. So we have a vault in here. A laser gun is pointing towards mouse pointer, and laser is shown or is fired when every time we are facing our every time I press on the space key. And I also have invaders. So that's it for today. I'm gonna keep on playing if I don't stop. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the project, and we were actually focusing on cloning, which is gonna be useful because you can see that we only have one sprite in here, and we use different costumes and create created a massive attack in here. I hope you guys were able to follow. Please let us know in the comments, and don't forget to visit our YouTube channel, which is going to be Preface Nomad Junior. And of course, please comment on Facebook so that we could share our flashcard with you. And that's it from my side then.
I hope you enjoyed the project. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with our daily content. And this is Scratch Tutorials on Preface Nomad Junior.